I'm saying? So I'm constantly getting hit with the hate and the negativity, and I'm bending over backwards trying to spread a message of positivity and strength and hope and courage. That's what I dedicated my life to, and I got people asking me like questions like this.
Okay, but you don't understand my husband.
I don't need it.
I know you don't, Pat, and I know that's not what you.
Doesn't even drink.
I know that's not what you signed up for, but in regards to your question at the beginning, I'd like to touch on that. Assuming isn't condescending, that word, or that it wasn't implied that way and it didn't mean that way. In recovery, when I had 18 years clean before I relapsed, assuming was making an ass out of you and me. Just like your assumption that I was an alcoholic. I was a needle junkie. I was addicted to meth.
No.
I don't even drink at all. I don't drink. I don't like it. What I needed help for, Pat, was that email from originally, because I was a cutter and it's been over 30 years since I've cut. I almost chopped my own fucking arm off, and if it wasn't for my wife being here, I would have died. I have been trying hard to get into mental health, and nowadays it's hard to get into there. So,
what's the email from? What was the email from?
It was from you.
What?
It was from
No,
T.
I'm saying, I'm looking for. I want to.
I emailed the .org on one of your videos. You had the Graceland.org or whatever. I went to that website and emailed that website, and then the response came from your email. So when you said something about, and that's why your life's so miserable, I took that personally, because it was like, okay, time out. Now he's getting into the unprofessional. He's bringing up the, without saying it, he's talking about the email, because I was very vulnerable with trying to be on the same page, because I to get help, you have to be honest. So do
you need to get sober? Do you want to get sober?
I am sober.
He doesn't use or drink.
And
how long are you sober for?
I've been sober for a year. I don't drink. So when I hear sober, because of the way that I went through my treatment at the beginning, sober in my mind is programmed to alcohol. Clean in my mind is programmed to drugs. Just like drug addicts go to Alcohol Anonymous and say that they're an alcoholic, but they're not a drug addict, because they're sober, but they're not clean. And that's what I was trying to ask or imply on the question, was because some of the videos, it gets implied that it's okay to do drugs as long as you're sober. So that's where I was confused in regards to what actually is being offered there, and what, because I always look at my glass half full, not empty. So I don't try to play a victim. I try to tell myself that I'm not alone.
Your question?
Huh?
Did my video answer your question?
Absolutely not. It didn't. At all.
But it does.
You don't agree?
No. I agree with what you said, and you had every right to say what you said. But in regards to answering the question was avoided.
So what did I say? Do you remember what I said?
Yeah, you started off and you basically said that that sober and your thinking, and that we're all basically unstable, and that it doesn't really matter if it's clean or sober. Then you started focusing in regards to your feelings and your.
That's not what I said. So let me just clarify for you what I said. Alcoholism is a disease that centers in my mind. It has nothing to do with what I use to quiet my mind. We have a thinking problem.
Yeah.
Me, you, and everyone else. And as long as we're trying to focus on what our drug of choice was, and clean or sober or sex or gambling, or it doesn't really matter what I use to feel better. The point is that I can't live in my own skin without something else. And what we're doing here at Graceland is we're teaching people to live without crutches, without drugs and alcohol. It's the same shit, right? And that's something I've learned throughout my 15 years of sobriety. And it's okay if you disagree with me, but I do think that this over clarification, NA, AA, OA, clean, sober, all these little labels, I think that they're diluting the message of recovery, which has to do with treating my mind. It has nothing to do with the drugs and alcohol. Nothing.
But
It's how I think this is fucked up.
But when you watch, you know, I don't know how many other social media platforms you do or whatever. I came across you on TikTok. When you see some of the videos that are put out by you and the things that are said, it makes it very confusing in regards to even with what you were just saying about the alcohol and how it affects the mind. Any mind-altering substance or chemical will do that. But
right. So it doesn't matter if I'm using alcohol or drugs or if I'm clean or I'm sober. I must remain abstinent from everything that's mind-altering. So why are we trying to make some difference between clean and sober? It's the same thing. I'm not sober if I'm smoking weed. I'm not clean if I'm drinking alcohol. I'm not clean if I'm smoking weed. I'm not sober if, you know what I'm saying? It's all the same.
I don't know what to say that because it took me many times to actually have the foundation to stay clean and be able to get clean. And I'm assuming that where your foundation started, you value some of the things that helped you be able to get to where you are today. And the term or the word of clean and sober is relevant for recovery, or even specifically myself, because
Look, dude, sober. Look, the first thing I did was define the word sober. It's like clear thinking. It's like righteous. It's like serious. It's like honest, right? That's it. That's what sober means, right? Like, to be sober is to be free of any mind-altering substance, in my opinion, and to be I could be a dry drunk. If I'm miserable in sobriety, I'm not actually sober.
Thank you.
And I'm not treated.
Here's the myth.
So all I'm trying to say, bro, is that I don't think we should be trying to pick apart these words. It's not important. The words aren't really that important.
In your
You know what the right thing
But if
is.
you're okay, so let me ask you this: you may think that, but if you are, let's say, selling a car, and if you're going to paint this car as a Mercedes, and tell me that I'm buying a Mercedes, and I end up taking the skin graft off, or the vinyl wrap or whatever it is off of this car, and find out that it's a Honda, wouldn't you be pissed if you freaking bought a Honda and it wasn't a Mercedes?
So I'm reading your email right now, and you wrote, even a fuck off would work. It's just feels like your energy.
You got it, yeah, because my energy, Pat, was death. You don't get that. You're not grasping that. I wanted to fucking die.
Okay, so check it out. Are you ready to get sober, to do what it takes to get sober?
Yeah. But the main thing is my mental health.
All right, well then, are you willing to stop listening to your thinking and turn your brain off? Are you willing to accept the fact that your thinking is fucked?
I've already have.
Okay, cool. So then stop trying to rationalize and justify your thinking. So you're sober?
Yes.
You're clean and sober right now?
Well, no, because I have medical marijuana.
Well, that's medical marijuana.
Okay, cool. There it is. Boom. We have identified the problem. When you're